Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Comic Corner, where we do news, reviews, and interviews. I am your host today, TJ, aka Fat Thor, joined by my wonderful friend and partner, AF Parker. AF, how you doing today, my friend?
Not too bad, eh? Not too bad. Ramadan Mubarak to everybody and anybody who is celebrating with us this month. But yeah, I love this time. It's a new spiritual beginning for me, like I like to say it. But yeah, not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, my friend. We were talking before we started recording. This is actually a little rainy and cold here in California, so that's not usual, but kind of welcomed because I get sick of the heat. You were just talking how it's super hot over there,
Yep.
but I'm even more excited that we got to come and get together and talk about these comics. Unfortunately, obviously, Damon, our usual leader of this ship, is unfortunately could not make it today. So you guys are stuck with me and my red face because this light is crazy on me right now. But let's get into it. AF, you sent me a couple things before we got on here, and that so we don't have our usual slides as well. So we're just running and gunning on this episode. But AF, you just sent me a new event. Marvel's doing a new event because why not? Because we cannot get away from events. So we are going to be getting Avengers Armageddon. And before we talk a little bit more about this, AF, you already know my thoughts pretty much, but AF, what do you think about Avengers Armageddon? Are you excited for it or
So I haven't been like keeping up with the whole Doctor Doom, One World Under Doom, and all of those things that were going on. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's something that I can just, you know, jump on when it releases. And then I saw a list of like 5 or 6 things that you had to have read to have some sort of context for this event that's going to happen. Marvel, what are you doing? Like, why are you making this so complicated?
so
Just,
complicated?
ah, I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Well, first off, I do want to say because I didn't say this in the beginning, I'm all over the place today. It's been a while since I hosted a show, so please bear
Yeah.
with me, people. But so Avengers Armageddon, that is going to be from Chip Zdarsky, Frank Alpizar, and Delio Diaz, and I'm a big fan of Chip. So I'll start off with the positives of my thoughts. Is I'm a big fan of Chip. I think he usually kills it. I'm a big fan of his work. So the fact that he's behind this definitely helps a lot. I also shout out Avengers Twilight. That was the event he did last, which was incredible. So good writing on the wall there. However, people who people who tune into this show regularly will know I've ranted often about events, and I hold to my same criticisms. There's too many events. It's too much. We got the Avengers doing this, we got Hulk doing that, we got Spider-Man doing this. Like, it just, let them do their own thing. Like, we don't need everyone to come together all the time. If it's worth it, yes. But I don't know. I don't really see a reason to need this other than for Marvel to have yet another event, which they have like three others that we are going to talk about right now as well. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's whatever, I guess. It seems like just looking on this picture right here. Sorry, I don't have it up on the screen for everybody, but it looks like we're going to be having the Avengers, Jed McKay's Avengers involved there. We're having Ryan North's Fantastic Four. I'm pretty sure Iron Man has a solo going on right now, but I embarrassingly don't know if that's the case or not. So we're getting them playing around. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I said, I wouldn't say I'm excited for it, but it's Marvel, and Marvel does events, so it's just kind of got to eat it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like you mentioned, there are other events that were announced tonight as well from Marvel. Um, I mean, I don't know how you feel about uh, Queen in Black. That was announced tonight as well. Al Ewing, Ivan Coelho. That's coming out in July this year. I don't have much context for what is happening with all of these characters. I saw Hala over there. I saw Baited a Bull, which is so,
Dude, get Bill out of that
like,
stuff, out of that mess. Get him out. I don't want him. I I'll say I'm not reading Queen in Black or the Venom run. I was a big fan and I totally fell off. So my comment, like, please, if y'all are reading Venom and love it, let me know. Let me know why. And like, I'm total like, please tell me what I'm missing. But I just though all the Queen in Black stuff has totally just I like could not care less about it. I don't see the need for it. And like that's I'm all for MJ being a badass. I don't want I feel like especially these days you have to preface like when you say things like that because people will think like,
yeah,
"Oh, like you just don't like that the Queen in Black." No, Queen in Black, I love it. I am here for Queen in Black. But it's just not like this. Just not like this.
yeah.
It just doesn't appeal to me at all. So it again, if y'all are excited out there, or if you've been keeping up with the Mary Jane Venom stuff, I would love for you to turn the tides for me. You know what I mean? Like, please tell me why it's great and tell me why I should be checking it out because right now it does nothing for me. AF, I'm assuming you're kind of the same. I know you're typically not really heavy on the Venom side of the universe.
I'm typically not really much on the Marvel side at the moment. I think I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading Spider Gwen. Um, I think that might be Spider Gwen and Black Cat. I think those are my only two Marvel books that I'm reading at the moment. I'm more DC heavy, more often than not. So yeah, I have absolutely no clue of what sort of characters or what storylines or what arcs are going to be funneling into this hell on earth
Mm-hmm.
event that they're going to be planning.
Yeah, and again, it's also like I can't really be too mad because again, it's Marvel. Marvel does events. I've said it before. We are in the event age of comics. You know, we had the golden age, we had the silver age. We are now in the event age. But I do want to bring up point our buddy Jam put into the comments says we need a reset, which I actually kind of agree with. And it brings me to another point I want to bring up about this event. I saw the homie Task talking about this, saying that it could potentially be them basically resetting the universe. So, like, you know, what in his tweet, for example, like he says, like, you know, Captain America was in World War II. Like he should be, you know, Punisher was in Vietnam. Like he should be like 80 years old now. So basically, this event will kind of reset everything. So that way we can have like new young Punisher story, you know, et cetera,
Yeah.
which I'm not opposed of. I think that is not a bad idea, especially since the Ultimate is ending. And part of me is like kind of like, okay, just wipe the slate. Like, let's just start all over. AF, what do you think about that?
Dude, if it means for a more cohesive universe and easier reading for people like me, because I don't like the complexities. And like when DC was doing this Dawn of DC thing, and when it sort of uh, transferred over to All In, everything was like under this one big umbrella. There were intertwined stories. I like that. I like it when there's some cohesion and when there are so many different sort of ingredients to an overarching story, or sometimes not even an overarching story. Like you sort of get lost a bit, and that's what I haven't been enjoying about Marvel. I'll be reading three stories of the same character, and they're just like doing different things, no acknowledgement about anything that's
Yeah.
happening outside of that story. And yeah, it's like I think DC's maybe just like spoiled me quite a
Mm,
bit right now. So I expect that from other publishers as well, which is probably a me thing. It's not really an
yeah.
anybody else thing.
No, I totally agree. I was literally just catching up on something. I'm trying to rack my brain and remember what it was. Marvel though, and I want to. It might have been Thor, you know, duh, obviously, but it might not have been. I can't remember exactly. But I was reading the book and I'm like, wait, isn't Thor like trapped in Utgard or something right now. Like, why is he in this? Like, he's just chilling with everybody now, and like that's a made up example, so people don't, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Last issue, Thor's out. Put the nerd stuff aside for a second. All I'm saying is it is very confusing, and you're like, I would appreciate a little bit more cohesiveness of like, again, okay, Storm is in the, or Phoenix, I think better example. Phoenix is in space. Like, she is chilling in space. So she should not just show up with the Avengers for like one issue and like have no explanation for her to be there. To me,
Yeah.
again, that is, I will admit that's nitpicking, but it does take me out of the story a little bit, which we actually have a great example of in one of our books that we're going to talk about today. But let's get into our reviews, because we've been yapping a little bit about these events, which I'm sorry, people, but I feel strongly about this sometimes. But let's get into our first book. Again, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of this like gets taken away without the pictures. So I'm sorry again, but Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman. I'm gonna save my thoughts on this because I feel like I gas up Absolute Batman every single episode we have. So AF, I'm gonna pass it off to you. What did you think of this issue? Issue 17, by the way. Sorry, I want to make
Yeah.
sure I got that right. So yeah, Absolute Batman 17. Introduction of Poison Ivy. What'd you think, AF?
Dude, I'm gonna guess this up as much as I can as well because I enjoyed this issue so much. There were so many like callbacks also to previous issues of Absolute Batman, which I kind of enjoyed. I also I think there was a new artist for this issue. I don't think Nick
Yeah.
Dragota was the artist for this
Yes.
one, so that one was it was interesting because at first you could sort of notice it, but then as the pages went on, you sort of got used to this new artistic or creative style,
Mhm.
and I'm not opposed to it. I kind of enjoyed it, but yeah, like the things that I took away the most out of this book from a Bruce point of view specifically is that the more he tries to get closer to Gotham, the more Gotham pushes him away. He's still blaming himself for everything that happened to his buddies. They don't want it to have anything to do with him anymore. So now he's doing this whole poison ivy thing to try and try and save somebody else, trying to be that hero that he knows that he can be. And yeah, I'm curious to hear how you found this from a Bruce perspective before we get on to Poison Ivy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just think that Scott Snyder is such an amazing writer, and he gets this absolute Bruce to a T, and he writes him so perfectly well.
Yeah, and I could not agree more. By the way, artist on this one is going to be Eric Canetti. I hope I'm saying that right. But I thought, like you said, very it. Sorry, I'm getting my thoughts mixed up. Art was great, art good, but it translates from Dragados is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say. It translated very well, where it wasn't jarring, but it was different, which I think is for me welcomed when we start a new arc to kind of change up the art style a little bit if we are kind of rotating artists. But exactly what you just said, my favorite part about this entire issue was the Bruce aspect of it. And to me, what I really felt was this issue was basically all about like consequences. Like we just went through these what 2 3 crazy adventures. We had Black Mask, we had Mr. Freeze, and then obviously the whole Bane arc.
and yeah,
So I feel like this issue starting this new arc, Snyder is kind of letting us in on what the consequences of all that was. Like, yes, Bruce saved people. Yes, Batman, like, he took down Bane. But what was the result of that? And we see, obviously, all his friends get messed up, like, really, really bad. The people in the city are kind of, iffy on him, but then others, like, absolutely love him. He said himself in the issue, he's like, I never wanted this to happen, but like this is just the result of what I've been doing. So I found it very interesting how we open up this arc with Bruce kind of coming to terms with like, oh, like everything I do has consequences. Whether I defeat the villain or I fit, like either way, this is going to change things in ways that I can't predict. And I think that that
Yeah,
is something that kind of is new territory for him. I mean, it's like that's like the thing is like, oh, Batman always wins, right? So it's like he's a person that's always looking 5, 10 steps ahead, someone who's always trying to calculate what the outcome of everything will be. But now he's seeing that he can't do that. Like there will be things that happen due to his actions that he cannot anticipate for,
yeah,
which I think is going to definitely come into play. We've already seen the cover for We're Getting an Absolute Robin, so I think a lot of that is going to have to do with all of these things we've been seeing. But we, besides the thematic things of this issue, it was just awesome, dude. Like
yeah.
Batman just slicing these plant monsters up is. So, what did you think about Ivy? I mean, another. I'll give my thought just very quickly. Another just absolute nightmare. Like all these Batman villains in the absolute are just like the things of your scariest nightmares, and I love it. And I think Isley, while we see very little of her, I will say, she fits the bill on what we've been going for with these villains. So, AF, what did you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of like horror aspects to her character, which I love. I think it was such a really good creative decision to make her this really like scary, frightening creature compared to like the poison ivy that we know in mainline continuity. But I guess like in the absolute universe, everything is sort of tuned up to the nth degree, and I love that. I like that there's sort of shades or similarities between Pam Isley and Bruce Wayne, like as kids as well as the younger
Mhm.
selves. They show these sort of comparisons of how uh, Pamela Isley was with her mom, and then obviously Bruce with his dad. And there's like I like that they did those sort of comparisons just to sort of like full user in on like what happened to Pam to like sort of create poison ivy at the end of it all. So I think yeah, really good creative decisions taken in this issue. I think poison ivy is a really great character, and I can't wait to see what they do with the next one. I saw that the cover for 18 was leaked, so that final page or final panel cliffhanger or plot twist sort of spoiled that. Like because I saw that cover, I think it was on Monday,
Is that
and
the
I
Mark Brooks one? Is that the one you're talking about?
it's the one with I think it was Ivy in the middle, and
Hmm.
then obviously the Court of Owls on the left
Yeah.
hand side. So I was like, oh, we're getting Court of Owls, and then the final panel like shows like
Yep.
how they bring that into it, and I was like, what the
Yeah.
like I couldn't believe that that was the choice that they took, and kudos to them for doing that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite parts about this entire series. I think Snyder is doing a really good job with like keeping us in the story that he's telling, but also like giving us little nods of what's coming without like revealing too much. Like I would not be surprised if we do not see anything from the Quarter Owls in the next issue. And I'm okay with that. Like I think Snyder's doing a really good job, like I said, balancing of like when to show his cards and when to hold back. And I think that this issue is a great example of that. It balances the, like we said, theme and fun of it.
Yeah.
So we gotta ask, as always, what are you giving it out of 5?
One last thing
Oh
before I
yeah,
rate
please.
it, and I think that we might get like a few panels of Code of Owls in the next one,
Mhm.
because with the absolute books, what I've noticed is whatever is on a cover is what is somewhere in the book. So I don't think that they're gonna red herring this, that they're gonna be putting the Court of Owls on the cover and then you read the book and there's no trace of them at all. So I definitely think that this was a cliffhanger, and we're gonna get some sort of breadcrumbs. So, like he's planted seeds for him to
Mhm.
come back to. So, I think we'll probably get like a few panels on that. And then one other thing, the Jim and Martha relationship.
Oh, dude.
Poor Bruce, that dude is so
Oh,
mentally screwed already, and
yes.
now, come on, what are you doing to the
Which, like,
guy?
granted, it's been like 30 something years. So,
Mm,
like, there's nothing wrong with it. Martha
yeah,
deserves
for
to be
sure.
happy, right? But man, imagine being Bruce. Your friends all hate you. The world basically, like, half the world loves you, but you have all these crazy supervillains after you. And now you just find out that your mom is kissing your Uncle Gordon. Like, oh my goodness. What a day, man.
So that means him and Babs are going to be siblings, basically. So
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
there's that. And she's on the
Oh,
cover of the next issue as well.
oh, crap. And she was in this issue too, huh?
Yep.
Like for 2 seconds, but see, this is what I mean. Like the little things he's, planting them in, and they're all coming together. So I'll just say I'm giving it a five.
Yep.
You know,
Same.
I'll even say, like, I'll even admit, like, that's a very biased rating because, like, there's been that I have had issues of this series that I like better than this issue, but it's just so good, and the way that it builds on everything else, it goes for a five for me. Holy yo, Jam, what?
I can see that
That's a
happening.
big brain freaking theory there. Oh, I like that.
So for people listening on podcast,
Oh
Jam just
yes.
said that Barbara will be Robin, and I don't think that that one is uh, a crazy thought. I think that
No.
you might be spot on the like for real.
100%. I mean, we do know that Dick Grayson is. We've seen him in this universe, but I like that, Jam. I like that a lot. Okay, we have yapped enough, unfortunately, about Absolute Batman because I could talk about it all freaking day long. But five out of five all around.
Yep.
Perfect. Snyder, you're doing amazing work, my friend. I can't wait for the next one. Next, we're sticking with DC, and this is a book from AF. AF, tell us all about Sirens.
Yeah, so this is Siren's Love Hurts. Number one, I think it's a 4 issue arc, or it's a black label, DC's black label series. So it's a bit more, you know, raunchy, pushes the envelope a little bit. And I mean it's based on the Siren's characters, so Black Canary, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. Um, it's it's more of like, I think it was released on Valentine's Day last week. So, you know, girls going out for brunch, and Selena and Dinah, they are sort of frenemies in this sort of story, and she agrees to go with Selena and the rest for brunch. Harley and Poison Ivy don't really approve of the whole thing because, you know, she's a hero, they're not. And yeah, it's a fun read, because, you know, they just become like really really girly, and, you know, talking about each other's boyfriends and talking about all of those things. But at the end of it all, they, oh, thanks for that, that's amazing.
Add it up.
um so they end up finding out that there's a person killing all of these women in the city, and they sort of band together to try and protect the women. Like they have like a common goal now, to try and protect the women. But the person who's killing these women, they're killing them on their birthday or on a certain day. Batman meets up with Catwoman, and he suspects that the person that's doing it is Calendar Man, because he's just been recently released from jail, and they sort of try to like track him down, try to find out if this is actually what's happening. Um, they go to a bar where he's going to show up at. Um, he comes in. They go to a waitress who seems a bit like sketchy, and then they try to track her down, and then they find her. was stab wounds as well. So and then I think it was her birthday as well. So this person is targeting these females and killing them on their birthdays, but like it's a month apart. So we know Calendar Man's mo, and that pretty much fits it. But then at the end of it all, it turns out that it's not Calendar Man; it's another character who I'm really not familiar with. It could be a first appearance for this character, but yeah, the mystery is there. We don't know who it is, and that's sort of a cliffhanger. So we have three more issues to see how they come around to it. It's a really fun book. I think I'm giving it a 3.5. Nothing serious, really playful. And yeah, if you like these sort of raunchy type of female centric books, then I mean this one is for you.
Heck yeah, man. Girl power. I love it. So what you said 3 out of 5? 3.5?
Yeah, three, maybe a 3.25. Give it a nice sweet spot between that 3.5.
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, like you said, perfect book to have for Valentine's Day. Let me get our next one up here. Haha, I did it. Look at me, dude. Freaking tech wizard over here. I almost said absolute because we've been on DC. Ultimate Spider-Man number 24, the grand finale of Ultimate Spider-Man, a book that me and Damon have absolutely been loving for over a year now. So I'm really upset that he's honestly not here to give his thoughts on this. So hopefully next episode we can get his take on this. But I'll just start with my rating. I'm giving it a 3.5, a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. And so I feel like I want to start with my rating because that kind of gives you my sense of I'm not necessarily disappointed, but I'm not cheering from the stands either. So let me explain. So basically, if you're watching the show and you're aware of comics at least at all, you'll probably know that the Ultimate Endgame is happening right now, which is the culmination of the entire Ultimate line. So unfortunately, Ultimate Spider-Man kind of got stuck in the middle of all this, which racks my brain too. AF, the book that I was taught, this was the book I was talking about earlier that I said I couldn't remember because I just read Ultimate Endgame number 2. And Spider-Man is very firmly with Iron Man and Doom and everybody else. But then I open this issue and he's just like, it's like we're seeing what happened before that happened. So a great example of how like it was just a little weird. Like, okay, does this take place before, after? Whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. What I liked about this book, I'll give my positives first. What I liked, big punchy fighty. Big action. We get the big showdown between Spider-Man and Kingpin, which for me did not disappoint. It was very I don't want to say cinematic because I feel like that's a weird word, but dynamic. It was very exciting. We switch between that, and then we also have Peter's son Richard and Black Cat, and they're kind of doing their thing in this like spy movie type of, they got to get through the lasers to get through to the, mainframe and blah, 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 blah. That was cool. Richard goes full Venom. I liked that. That was really cool. And basically it ends with, I guess, kind of a cliffhanger or twist, but basically Kingpin and the other Sinister Six, they get wiped off the board. I won't spoil too much, but they're off the board now. Mysterio, which is Harry Osborn's wife, Gwen Stacy, your favorite, she is Mysterio, but she's Mysterio with like 5 other people, and they're all in one little crazy head. So
What?
so now she is basically the leader of Kingpin's organization. So she's chilling with the Maker, like she's part of the council now, basically. And that's kind of, it's kind of where we left off. And then obviously we pick up Peter's story in Ultimate Endgame, but I don't know, man. It just, like I said, a little underwhelming. And to something we were talking about again beforehand, there was it was very clear to me, and I could be wrong. And please, again, people in the comments, if you're watching this back, correct me, tell me why I'm wrong. But you could very much tell that this was changed around in order to coincide with Ultimate Endgame. Like there is literally pages in here that feel like they're missing. Like I went back a couple times because I was like, wait, it feels like there should be something in between here, right? And it's just not there. And it just, to me, it was a little bit of a letdown of the series that I love so much. Which, like again, I think the ending is good for the story that we got. The I keep wanting to say Al Ewing, Hickman. He stuck the landing for what for what he had to do, right? But again, to me, it does feel like this was kind of cut and pasted together from what the original was supposed to be. And it feels like there should have been more. Like the kind of story beats we get in here, it again feels like there should have been something in between there. Like, wait, what? Like, we're okay. That's it. It was that easy. So yeah, I'm very kind of mixed on this. Again, while I love it for, like I said, the punchy fighty, and I will say it does give a satisfying conclusion if you're looking just from like the story point of like basically from tying up the Sinister Six. If you're looking at it as like, okay, this issue ends the Sinister Six story, then yeah, nailed it. But for the end of the whole series, I don't know. Like I said, please.
Do we have any indication of where all of these other characters are going to go? Like, you said that Spider-Man's character, like they pick it up in Ultimate Endgame, but everybody else, is there anything in solicit?
Up in the air, man. Up in the air. So we get, I guess, not really a spoiler, but the last page in here is Spider-Man or Peter, MJ, Richard, and May, their daughter. Basically, so the first issue we get a full page spread of Spider-Man standing on a typical standing on the rooftop, like, haha, I'm a superhero. Now he is joined by Mary Jane, Richard, and May to kind of show like they are, no matter what, they are a family. This is their life now, and Peter isn't gonna face it alone. They're all gonna be together, which love it, love that. I'm a sucker for that, right? But who knows what that's gonna come to? Again, we're in the Ultimate Endgame. Like everything is ending, so I don't know like how we're gonna get a resolution to any of that. Or, I mean, we saw that in Ultimate Endgame 1, they do leave Richard behind. So I don't know if that was like, yeah, because like we're not gonna deal with him, or if they got something up their sleeves to where he's gonna come in later. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's hard. It's kind of hard because Damon's not here, because I feel like Damon would be able to like give me some either counterpoints of why I'm an idiot or not. So yeah, like I said, that's just my piece on it. I didn't hate it at all. I think it was a good ending for a lot of the different elements of the story. But we're grading this on the end of the series, a series that has been so great. I will say I felt a little disappointed. So that's why I'm going a firm 4 out of 5. I was dancing with a 4.5, but as we're talking about it, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna stick at the 4 out of 5 for this. So again, please, if y'all are watching this back or happen to be watching live somewhere, let me know if I'm an idiot or if you guys, it hit you guys differently, because yeah, I mean, it's it, man. It's over.
Dude, you're an idiot. You're a cool dude.
At first, I literally thought you said, "Dude, you are an idiot." And I'm just like, "Yep."
No. No. Stick to your opinion.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns.
Stand your ground.
Man.
Don't let anybody tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah. So, like I said, it really just comes down to, thank you, Jam. Thank you. Some support here in the chat. But yeah, it really just comes down to Marvel rushed this Ultimate Endgame. They rushed the Ultimate Endgame. They rushed killing the Ultimate Universe. And I'm sorry, Hickman and everybody else. They say that this was always the plan, but I don't believe it. Based on the issue I read, I don't believe it. And that's not even me trying to be like a jerk. It's clear that there's things missing. So if you guys are disappointed with this, I would say just put everything into Endgame at this point. I mean, me and Damon talked about the first issue. Unfortunately, we didn't talk about the second issue, but second issue's gas. I like the second issue a lot better than the first one. So I would say if you're a little sad by this, keep up with Endgame. Don't drop the whole thing completely. But that brings us to the end of our reviews today. We had very short reviews for this week, only a couple books. But AF, is there any? I mean, we've only been on for a little bit, so we got some extra time. Is there anything you want to talk about before we get out of here? Anything else? Any other books you've read that doesn't have to come out this week?
Not really about books that I read, but like I'm super psyched for Absolute Green Arrow and Absolute Catwoman. That was announced tonight well.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that in the news. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Absolute Green Arrow.
Dude, Absolute Green Arrow looks insane. Like, this dude literally looks so scary. And
go ahead.
Like it's just about the serial killer that's going around killing billionaires. And I mean, we all know that Oliver Queen, he was off in the Absolute Evil. I think that was that special that was released at the end of last year. Mm-hmm. Oliver Queen, he was there for like a split second, got offed immediately, and now we have the Green Arrow, the Absolute Green Arrow, just going around killing billionaires, and the dude looks so super scary. I'm just gonna put my theory out there.
Say, hit me with the theory.
I think I was gonna say Connor Hawke at first, but then I saw the sword, and I think it's Merlin. I think we have Absolute Green Arrow is going to be Merlin, either Merlin or somebody from the League of Assassins, because that sword is quite telling. Jam thinks it's Oliver back like the Ghost Rider. Ooh, TJ, we lost you. Audio.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm trying to get this Green Arrow thing up here. But so like you said, we did see Oliver Queen die, right? I remember that happening.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this picture up here and think at the same time. But dude, yeah, I mean, Green Arrow killing billionaires, and he looks like a freaking maniac. I'm 100% there. I thought at first that this was Taskmaster. Like when I was just scrolling through Twitter, and I was like, damn, that's a crazy looking Taskmaster. And I was like, wait, Green Arrow. So Green Arrow is not even really my guy. I don't dislike him by any means, but this fits my bill, man. This gives me Ultimate Wolverine vibes. And we talked before, like when he was just kind of a psycho doing stuff, that was my favorite parts of the book. So yeah, this excites me. And on top of that, we also have Absolute Catwoman coming as well, which was just announced. Let's see if I can find artists and all that on that.
We've seen that character already in the Absolute Batman book, so it's not like it's a new one or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty curious to see what they do in terms of creative for in a own run. Like I'm pretty certain that Absolute Bats is going to be somewhere intertwined in a storyline.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
There's no way that Bruce isn't showing up in that. Yeah, the Catwoman issue, from what I'm remembering, it was okay. But I'm surprised that they're giving her own series before we've seen more of her in Absolute Batman, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like which I guess kind of make, just put all your cards on the table in her own series, but I feel like for me, who I'm not, crazy Catwoman fan, I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of her in the book to kind of pique my interest and get me to, pick up the newest one. But
I think Absolute Catwoman, like Catwoman as a character, she has a huge following.
oh
And
yeah,
I think that is the issue of Absolute Batman was received really well. And I think that basically just sort of made the decision for them of like, let's just try this out, have a bit maybe of a limited run. And yeah, and TJ just left, so I'm all alone.
sorry,
And
I had
he's
to kill
back.
my camera for a second. You're not alone, AF. You're never alone. I'm trying to get that. I had it. I was a freaking tech wizard for 2 seconds
It's
here, and
cool,
now I
man. It's
can't get the
cool.
pictures up. But yeah, Jam here in the chat. He says, "I don't know if we need absolute Catwoman." I kind of agree, but I'm also not gonna disagree either. You know what I mean? Like, if people are excited for it, why the hell not? In my opinion, the absolute universe is doing so well right now. They could give me an absolute Bizarro book, and I'd be like, all right, let's do it.
And I think like with all of the Absolute books, it's just sort of doors for them to, or windows for them to open, to use to bring up new Absolute characters in it. Like now for Absolute Green Arrow, we're gonna get Absolute Black Canary within that book as well. So Dynaland, she's gonna make her Absolute Universe debut over there, and she's
Mhm.
gonna be some CIA or FBI agent or something, and she's gonna be like trying to solve these serial killings. And yeah, like they're just using all of these Absolute titles to introduce or plant the seeds for other Absolute characters to show up. And I like that. I like that they're doing that.
Yeah. And I also like that, unlike Marvel, I like that everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, right? Like, I mean, yeah, we had the crossover between Batman and Wonder Woman, but
Yeah.
at least for right now, like there's no indication of like, oh, now Wally West is going to show up, and then like absolute Martian Manhunter, that's like on another planet completely. So I don't know how they're going to put that into everything, but I I would be completely fine if we just keep getting absolute versions of everybody and like just keep them in their own titles. I think that's great.
Yeah. I love that.
So
Let's
the
see what
right
Scotty Boy has up his sleeve though.
Exactly, dude. Scott Snyder, man, he's killing it, man. Scott, if you're if you happen to be tuning into this, which you're probably not, thank you, man. You're freaking killing it, man. That overarching hand over the universe, I think, is very, you can tell, and it works. And again, no disrespect, but I think something that you can tell isn't in the Ultimate universe. I need absolute Black Lightning and Vixen. Yes, Black Lightning for sure. And like,
Ooh.
let screw it, man. Let's get an all absolute Static Shock going. Like he just had that book with Batman Beyond. I don't know if there's something because it's milestone, which maybe might make it different, but yo, come on, man. I want some more like low key people. Not saying
Yeah.
Static Shock is that, but I want more that characters don't typically see all that much. I think with a concept like the Absolute Universe, it like begs for you to go and like I saw someone say this a while ago, like about movies, and they're like, why do people remake good movies? We should remake bad ones to make them good. And like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at with these characters here. Not saying bad characters, but let's get some characters we don't typically see, and like let's make them freaking cool for the Absolute Universe. But that brings us to the end of our reviews this week. Again, DC is just killing it, which is crazy for me to say. If anyone has been watching me at all or have tuned into my other show, Sons of Mjolnir, 10 million years ago at this point, I am like a Marvel guy, Marvel through and through, always have been. So the fact that I am reading more and loving more DC books right now is a big statement. But AF, we all know DC is killing it right now, and today has been such a fun episode. But what do you got next week? You usually are DC through and through, but anything interesting sneaking through on the polls next week?
Yeah, I only have DC polls next week. So I have the Flash 30, Justice League Unlimited number 16, Superman number 35, and then it's funny that you brought up Static Shock because I have the new history of the DC universe, the Dakota incident, and that is where Static Shock is going to be one of the main players in that book. He made his sort of return at the end of the Kids Are All Fight, the special that came out last month. So yeah, that was his return, and now he's going to be in the middle of that spotlight, and we all love to see that.
I love that, dude. I love that. I need to catch up on some of the Superman stuff that's not. I need to catch up on Absolute Superman too. But for me, it's. Dude, next week for me is amazing. It's like my favorite books all together, except Storm. Shout out Marewa Audeli. That is my absolute favorite. But I got Absolute Martian Manhunter number 9, Absolute Wonder Woman number 17, Infernal Hulk number 4, Mortal Thor number 7, and The Ultimates number 21. I might have to bribe Damon to let me have another pick next week because, gosh dang, all my favorites.
Dude, I feel like Damon will just allow you to have as many Marvel books as you want. In all honesty.
Yeah, I know, but we like to keep the show moving for all the people at home, all of our screaming, raving, wonderful fans out there that tune in every week and are just so great. But thank you, everyone. If you are watching or listening to this, thank you so much for tuning in with us and hanging out with us. Again, let us know in the comments. What did you read any of these books this week? What did you think of them? Are we off base? Give us your ratings. Also, be sure to tune in and stay up to date with everything going on at Agents of Fandom, agentsoffandom.com. Agents of Fandom on Facebook and Instagram, Agents Fandom, TikTok, and Twitter. Not exactly sure what we have up right now, but I know if you're watching something on TV, we have an episode covering it or talking about it. I know I just saw a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer reaction up there, so go check those out. And besides that, you can catch us.
Yeah, I think we are Paradise. I think we have a Paradise show starting next week, Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. That will probably be immediately, or I don't know how long after the episodes are released, but yeah, I think it's going to be every Tuesday on the channel.
Beautiful. Tune in every Tuesday for Paradise. Tune in every Thursday for the Comic Corner, where you can catch us every week. And besides that, we will see you guys all next week.